I remember Kadie saying, "Mom, she really thinks you need to be here. This is something more serious than just, a slight heart problem."
I was having headaches and kind of lightheadedness, so I went into my primary doctor and she did a bunch of tests. I mentioned that when I was working out, I kind of got short of breath. So I went in and did a stress test. At the end of it, the technicians kind of were quiet, and then they just were like, "I'm gonna have an actual doctor come in and confirm that we can let you go." So I knew something was wrong then. At that point, I think that it hit me. One doctor had said possibly restrictive cardiomyopathy, but then the other doctor was like, "No, her pressures seem okay." It was frustrating being told one thing by one set of doctors and then another from another set. That day, I had my family there, so that was nice. But my main doctor was just like, "Yeah, you have restrictive cardiomyopathy." That was hard to hear it with confidence.
She took it worse. I think it was kind of like she had this dream that it wasn't really going to be that. And it's so rare, but most people, when they get it as children, and they've had a heart transplant by the time they're 8 or 10.
The diagnosis is idiopathic, which is from an unknown cause. They think I've had congenital heart defects my whole life, but I never had any tests done as a child. Didn't have a whole lot of symptoms back then. Looking back now, my lips have always been purple. I've never been able to run long distances. And I probably won't do any more ablations. You can only do so many, and then you don't want to have too much scar tissue in your heart. Thinking about a heart transplant is scary. You fear everything, but then you can't really do anything about it, so you just have to let it go. But I like to still be active and go to yoga and take my dog on walks, hang out with friends and go places on weekends and travel. There's definitely some things I thought that I would be doing that I probably can't. I couldn't have, at least right now, I couldn't have a child. It would just be super high risk. So that is not an option for me. And that's hard. I'm just gonna keep moving forward, and that's what I'll do.
My hope is that it just progresses very slowly, because the longer it is, the better advances they make in the heart transplant process, the better it'll be.
My biggest wish would be that something came up and I didn't have to have a heart transplant. Some medical advancement could keep me feeling like this for, another 15, 20 years.
Every penny that can be given in hopes that things increase and get better, and all of our knowledge, it means the world to these people. Not just Kadie, but anybody, I think, of young moms that have kids that are going through this, and they can have a little bit better life. And we know a little bit more down the road. It can't help but be good for everybody.
It just means more research, more development, more opportunities, more options for people like myself, so that you don't feel like you only have one, or you feel like your options aren't great. It could change everybody's future, anybody with heart disease.